Good evening and welcome to the Warband NA stream. I am your host, E-Man. I am joined by my co-host tonight, Black. And together, we are going to bring you the second official match of the United North American Championship. So, Black, how are you doing tonight?
Very good, E-Man. How about you, sir?
I am doing super. I'm excited to cast my first match here of the UNAC. And today we are featuring Strike Force versus the King's Musketeers. But before we get into talking about the teams, I do want to bring up some info about the tournament itself today. This is the United North American Championship. We're still at week 1. It is 13 weeks of round robin style matches. where 14 teams face all the other teams, and we got everybody who's anybody in the NA scene in here. We got WAPA, we got TMW, GK, Rebels, the whole 9 yards, and we even got a European team as a wild card, Gladiators with Aviators. I mean, that's what their name is, right, Black? Gladiators with
Aviators. We even have a Napoleonic Wars clan with a nice 57-man roster.
Yes, we got a whole bunch of people competing.
Go ahead, man.
And we're going to bring this to you around 2 matches, 2 highlight standout matches every week. More if the community wants it. And so far we're working on a prize scheme for first and second place so that they get more than just the esteem of the Warband community. So that's to be decided though. So that's what this tournament's about, and I'm going to hand it over to Black here so we can talk about the teams a little more in depth that are going to be playing today.
Yep. As kind of a blessing and a curse, we have 2 really relatively unknown teams here. We have the Strike Force, captained by Tesla, or Kush, as many know him in the community. We also have the King's Musketeers, which, as I understand it, was actually from conception a with Fire and Sword clan. So and they actually kind of started dipping into native scene, and so really on paper we have very little material about these clans. So this is a really it's going to be really hard to tell what's going to happen here. Anything could go.
To see the King's Musketeers, because I want to see how a team that is so used to fire and sword and guns can get used to the melee system in a better game, honestly.
We are just now getting server info here. Excuse the delay. The captains are a little behind on scheduling, but it looks like they are assembling now.
They are assembling, and actually this is a good time to mention what it is you're going to be watching, the setup for how this tournament works. I'll let Black talk about this.
Yes. So as you mentioned, it's 13 weeks round robin, so all 14 teams will play the other 13 once. Only 4 teams are going to qualify for the playoffs, I believe. Currently, that is the rule set. That I don't know if that might change or not, but last time I heard it was 4 teams. So you got 14 teams vying for basically 4 playoff spots. So it should definitely get real cutthroat down the line. But also, as far as a per match basis, it's a little different than the most previous North American tournaments. It's going to be, instead of 4 rounds and then a map or a faction and spawn switch, it's going to be first to 4 rounds. So you could conceivably see 7-round sets before the factions and the spawns are switched. So you could see
first to 4.
Yep, first to 4. So you could potentially have a set that goes 4-3, and netting the victorious team only 1 round in the overall score. By the end of the 4 sets, obviously, after the first 2 sets, the map is switched, and the team that did not get the pick the first map gets to pick their own map, which will be in a separate class. The 3 classes, as most people know, open, closed, and mixed. I'm actually not familiar with the map pool right now. I do know one of them is open.
Yeah, but those terms are just there to classify that these maps are a bit more personal or a bit more cavalry focused. So we want to switch it up so a team has to show that they're good not only on an open field, but also in close quarters. So that's the point of the map rules. And we actually start this all off with a personal duel. Both teams pick a individual to represent the team, and they fight it out in the arena. Is it 1 life or is it best of 3? How does that work out?
It's best of 3 or first of 2. There's actually kind of a misunderstanding right now. Those are actually the same thing. It's first duelist to win 2, and then the winner gets to pick map first, I believe, and the losing duelist gets to pick the faction first. Map and spawn goes to the duelist winner.
big advantage for winning in the duel. And there's a lot of pressure because everyone's watching.
Give me a second here. We're getting server info now.
Yes, the teams are still amassing. So we are biding our time a little, just talking about the tournament.
So yep, and also the I believe currently right now this is and the rules have actually been kind of changed around and disputed in the first week, but looks like basically after the 4 sets, whoever has the most rounds wins, and a tiebreaker scenario has not been achieved yet, so we will not get into that. We'll take it as it comes.
Take what life throws at us.
All right. Looks like
I don't see this server, Black.
the module is different. Is not the native module. Seems like the captains are still a little disorganized here. We'll try to keep it going.
Captains are getting together. Don't worry about it, folk. There's a lot to talk about in this tournament. I actually want to go back to the team roster here, because I really got my eye on the King's Musketeers here. They've started as a Fire and Sword clan, but they moved on to Napoleonic Wars, as pretty much everyone else has done, right?
All right, the server is actually being switched.
That's wonderful progress. But they do spend their time on Napoleonic Wars, right?
I believe they do. I believe they are primary oh wait, KM? KM's actually with Fire and Sword.
That's why I want to see their strategy here. I want to see whether they can bring over the line battle formations from Napoleonic Wars and not get decimated here by people who know how to sword and board.
So password is being decided right now. As you can see, we'll go into the actual rosters while we're waiting.
And you can see their pretty little mugs there.
Yep. SF has a couple, maybe a little more well-known overall than KM's roster to the North American community. Got a couple guys that have pubbed and been in recent clans. Kush, obviously very strong. They're still working on that, man. Kush, obviously very strong. Infantry, and is a very well-known pub player. Ralix was actually on the Canadian Nations Cup team, I believe. Also very strong infantry. I'm actually expecting a lot of very bloody infantry engagements here.
A lot of infantry? You don't expect the King's Musketmen to bust out the ranged weapons?
I kind of tapped into Orden a little bit and asked him a couple questions a couple hours ago, and really a lot of his players, he claims their strengths are infantry. So it looks like we got 2 relatively infantry-heavy rosters here.
That's very easy to say when there's only 2 attack directions in the game you play.
Yeah.
Upwards and downward stab.
Well, actually, I think with Fire and Sword.
Oh yeah, Fire and Sword.
It's been a while. I'll have to brush up on that. Oh, yep, and that is a good thing to mention. Someone in chat brought this up. A couple of really popular pub players were kind of added in on KM's roster. Deafening Flood and Terra. So there are some recognizable names on KM, but overall, as a whole, both these clans have very little on paper and on video especially. So this is kind of a treat. It's really going to be it's going to be somewhat of a dice roll as to what we're going to see here.
I'm excited to see it, but I know KM has quite a pool of players to pick from, so theoretically they should have the la creme de la creme, right? Like, out of 57 players, or is that GCQ, or that other clan that has like 50 players?
Alright, we're going to get into the server soon. I think the server has actually been decided, so everybody sit tight. I know this is kind of a long wait. We're already 12 minutes past start time.
Don't even worry about it. If we don't worry about it, they won't worry about it. Just chatting about Warband. getting amped for some bloodshed. I'm really looking forward to the duel.
We have our first predictions on chat. Mock claiming SF is going to win. We're curious to hear some other chat lobbyers and who they think is going to win.
Black is doing Overwatch of the Twitch chat, folk. We want to get you guys involved because this is a community-run endeavor. Everything's community-run. So...
We got our first over-the-pond prediction from Deacon Barry, thinking it's going to go to KM.
I don't know who it's going to go to at all, but I hope KM wins. I'm rooting for him already.
Let's see here. Maybe pass the server is set to duel.
Yes, so the teams are congregating, deciding who is their best fighter. Do they all? Is there like requirements here? Can they use any weapon for the duel? Do they have to use a two-hander?
You know, I don't think there might not be any rules regarding the duel. I would have to look that up. Honestly, the duel is kind of it was a staple of North American rule sets for a while, but the past couple events, duels have been a non-factor. So
what? They're exciting.
We're still kind of relearning the duel system. They are very exciting.
A lot of feinting. That's the duel system. A lot of feinting and twirling. But we should like put some
kind of
importance on the duel here, because I mean deciding the first map and spawn, because you get both of those things for winning, is very important. I'm sure the KM win. They're gonna pick an open map. I'm thinking.
Looks like SF has 8-9 strong. Looks like KM is gonna maybe have 6 or 7. So we will see. And that is another thing to bring up.
Oh, the duel is underway, folk.
It kind of sprung it on us here.
They kind of
Orden taking down Ralix. Orden is actually, that is one interesting aspect of this duel. Orden is a very, very established duel player, or duelist in North America.
Sorry, folks, that you're seeing this, but we weren't fully prepared here. There we go.
The screen is not quite full. There we go.
Sorry about that, folk. We have one point.
Yep, 1-0 Orden, and it looks like he is officially dueling Ralix. We're having an issue here. Server's actually full, so not all the KM guys are in right now. Trying to work that out.
Much capacity. For those that don't know, Orden, leader of SF, is the man in black there.
He is the leader of KM.
Oh, okay. I totally messed up.
It's completely forgivable. We got a lot of learning to do during this match.
Going at it.
Yep, Ralix evens it up 1-1. That was really quick. Not a whole lot of blocking from either side there.
So 1-1 so far in the duel. Teammates cheering him on from the background. I think Orden, yes, he's walking back into the arena, and he's going right at it. Right at it, folk. The feinting, the blocking.
Ooh, a glance thrust there, and he takes him out. Great master of the range
Orden
there.
Wins.
Yep, 2-1 KM, so it's going to be KM's map choice.
KM winning the duel and securing the advantage. I did not have audio game on. We are working on things, folk.
We already have a better start than this Saturday stream. They're used to sticking through the technical glitches.
Well, we want to set a higher bar here, folks.
We are going to set a higher bar, and we are already doing it.
As possible.
And we are going to make it even better as as we go through this.
Yes, and if you guys got ideas for ways we can make it better, we've heard much talk about adding interviews to the end. We are thinking about incorporating that, interviews with the victor, and other things you might notice, we can throw that in there too. So, just visit the Tail World Forums UNAC board, where you can talk about all this stuff, see the standings, see when upcoming matches are coming up, all that good stuff.
Looks like Oregon. Oh no, that's right. KM will have the choice of attacker or defender. So I believe defender gives them map choice. If anybody has more clarity on these rules, feel free to step up and say so.
Oh yes, I looked that up on the forum and I read through it, and it confused me a little, but suffice to say, usually the team that wins the duel will have... They won't give away map choice at the beginning. I highly doubt they do that. Because that's an option, right? Because if you pick attacker, you can give map to the opponent.
It's at your discretion. A lot of people, I think because of the pooling format, a lot of people are going to go with whichever. Well, they're going to take map first, just because they have their map in that grouping that they are more comfortable with, or they might want to take away one that they know the other team is comfortable with. So I think taking map just gives you more strategy and more of an advantage with this rule set. But we'll see. We'll see if teams decide to go with faction first, or default to the other team, let them pick map first.
Well, if KM said their strength was infantry, they should be picking something from the closed pool.
Looks like Sandy Bush.
Sandy Bush! Yes, that is a wonderful map. That is one of my favorite closed maps. It is exciting, very infantry focused. Horses do make a big difference though, surprisingly. I've heard people give analysis. Shout out to...
SF is going to go with Rodox first. It's a good closed map faction. Pretty vanilla so far.
Smart move.
Certainly helps to fulfill our goals of very massive bloody inf battles. And
well, all that's left is for KM to pick Nord, and I think they have.
So, just some dueling going on here. I actually didn't catch the spawns that were picked. I don't know if they even care about that. We'll see. But everything's set to go, so I guess the captains are just raiding at that point.
Yeah.
Raiding at this point.
Factions, Norge versus Rodox on Sandy Bush, folk. This is a custom map made by Captain Lust, actually.
That is actually something I can comment on. The team limit, or team size limit for competitive play in this tournament is minimized at 7v7, and I think it can only go to 8v8 as the highest.
Wait, 77?
7v7.
Oh, I'm sorry. It can go up to 8, though, if both teams are willing to field 8 players.
I don't know. I think that might be at completely captain's discretion.
KM should totally work on that, because they have so many people they gotta rotate from the bench.
And we have a map switch. Question is, are we live?
Map is being switched. I think both teams have gotten their duels out of their system. They were practicing a little of their swordsmanship, and we are soon to be live, folk.
Yep. Looks like, well, KM's got serious loadout, so I'm assuming if we all get them all spawned in, we're going live. And I think Colony might have missed the spawn. Yep. So we're gonna get a reroll.
Teams are nice that way. There's a very limited window. to choose your troop loadout, and we give you a buy at the beginning of the sets.
It's possible he might have downloaded the map too. Being a fire and sword player mostly, maps are. Wouldn't be surprised if he had the download. So KM is kind of.
So we are live now?
Spawn here. I believe we are. We got seven spawn for each team. KM moving up quick, aggressive, into the courtyard. They've kind of some javelin exchanges going on here.
Oh my goodness, these guys are all...
There's just line v line of infantry right now.
It feels so slow-mo.
This is
a bloody mess is what it is.
Oh, KM Matthews on the wall there in the short alley, getting kills.
Matthews doing work up there, but unfortunately,
SF definitely winning the infantry fights though.
KM has no more infantry. No,
Route?
not at all. Not at all. Now all have to do is route this man. They are climbing the stairs to cut this man down. Climbing both stairs from behind in the front. KM Matthew, the last to fall here. Trying to bring down some players with him.
Too many spears and too many swords.
Too many. KM seem to have a good position there. Their fodder died too quick.
I was kind of impressed. They very sneakily kind of got Matthew up there. I thought they were all infantry. And then he pops up and got 2 kills there?
KM confident in their infantry work, but not displaying great prowess in it here. It's all that shooting, man. All them line battles. You don't practice a melee.
KM switching it up, going to the left this time, into the long alley.
Madness leading his team, but thinking else. Instead, they see that KM is down here.
SF has, what do they have, 2 crossbows, looks like. Yep. So all infantry for KM, and SF has the crossbows, but they are just out of the reach of the infantry. This should go well for SF.
Neanderthal in a perfect position. KM not making any attempt to get up there. In fact, they are getting the runaround. Madness behind them. Shooting, destroying them. Oh my goodness. Bench me, please. Switch him out with someone else, KM. You got 50 players because these guys aren't doing too good. No, he's getting a kill.
It's a 4v2. It was really gonna slanted towards SF's favor there, having the crossbow on that balcony and having no pressure applied to him.
No pressure. That's a lot. I mean, KM is coming into these engagements, but they're not putting any pressure in them. They're like wet paper towels, dude. They fall.
KM kind of going with the first round strategy. Sneaking. Nope, Matthew's going to stay with the infantry this time.
I felt it in my guts, man. KM need to stick to their strength, and that is distance. And luck, I guess.
Rallick's kind of separated here. They need to get a kill without taking too much damage.
KM
is
running into an alley controlled by SF again.
Good jab throw by Giraffe. That's a
However,
top
actually,
team
they're putting
kill.
some work on SF here, outnumbering them. Nick Dean cannot get in the battle. He's too injured, but he's coming from behind.
This is a good spot for KM. They kind of caught him off guard.
Giraffe slicing a dude down.
KM has numbers. It's 4v2. Taking out Nick Dean.
Bringing it back. Neanderthal, shieldless, exposed, not in a good position. The man is getting stun locked. Oh yes, KM putting work on the man.
I think SF was just kind of caught off guard there. I think after picking up the first 2, they kind of expected KM to be a little more slow and methodical about it. But KM never took their finger off the W button.
Hold W to win. Works for Pyro, works for Warband.
KM going with the same thing. Just
still
moving
got
right
that-
into SF spawn.
They got that key pressed down. Still going the same path. It says both worked for them and against them. Let's see here. SF is actually giving up their position to move on to KM here. I don't know if this is going to work out.
SF pushing back now, and KM on the retreat.
SF splitting up KM a little. Orden coming from behind, leading.
Neanderthal got a really nice close shot off there. He was really close to the infantry.
Yes, KM Matthew shooting throughout all this. However, KM are losing more than they're winning here. Orden about to go down. Flurry of shots.
Oh,
No!
wow. That could be
Headshot
costly.
by Matthew.
So it's a
the
3v2
minimap.
here.
Thank you, chat. Thank you, chat. I appreciate you guys. I always mess this up, but we could fix it. Together, yes we can. Sandy Bush.
I'll
Thank you, guys.
own up to that one. That was a goof on my part. I should have caught you.
It's all good. It's all good, man. It's not good for KM. They are fighting here. 3 versus 2. They could pull an upset, but SF have an archer who's free to do whatever. Oh, and he's free to kill Sean there. Matthew is now 3v1.
Yep. Up to Matthew to be the hero.
Show your superior infantry work here, KM. No, he loses his shield and soon to lose his life. Madness aiming at him, but it's not necessary. A sword will cut him down.
Just too much shield from Nick Dean.
Too much shield. Too much for KM to handle. And we are on a break, right? This is how this works?
No, it's first 2-4. So
Oh, yeah. Oh,
SF
okay.
needs one more to close out this set.
Sorry.
All right, so we have an instant fight in short.
In the graveyard.
Madness getting up on those stairs though, so he is not going to be pressured.
Madness does not have the
Orden
best
getting
shot. Oh.
behind and getting kills though.
Orden's been doing this last round too. He is causing a distraction in the back, and then KM are trying to move in. But they're getting pinned down by that archer fire from Neanderthal.
Even though SF got that early death, they were very smart to stay in range of their crossbow.
Neanderthal killing a man with a ball, slicing him off the edge of the building.
Orden is going to town on the SF infantry.
Unstoppable Orden. KM, I think, have the number advantage here. Yes.
4-2.
4-2 Neanderthal. Getting siege.
Getting instant pressure on Neanderthal here. Both crossbows are the only ones left.
Neanderthal putting up a good fight, though.
They just gotta play it smart here. Nice shield and sword spear and sword combination there by KM.
Now they are hunting for the last man, Madness. Madness is the captain, right?
Yes, he is.
And down the captain goes. King's Musketeers not out of this yet. First 2-4. Now that I've realized that's how it works.
And who knows, with Nords, the way they can stack that armor, should they get some gold, you might see them pull off 2 more in a row here. You can never underestimate the Nord armor. Although it only looks like one infantry got the mail shirt.
I am taking a second to look over scores here to see any standout performance. And Strike First Giraffe sitting at 8-3. What has this man been doing?
I believe he's kind of alternated in and out of crossbow, but he's been getting the shots and assisting his infantry very well.
Oh, Madness is Kush, right? That's the guy? That's
Yeah.
his name? Okay.
Kush is Madness.
Trying to adopt that. SF a little tentative here with their actions. They're thinking about moving in. This is a tough place to get though, because KM already have positioning there. They can look over the hill. They are starting to. Matthew raining down a few arrows. SF multi-prong attack here coming in from the stairs, the side, and the fight is underway in the graveyard. Wow, SF Neanderthal taking the sniping position, but now it's an archer fight up top. No archer crossfire, it's a straight up melee. KM, Orden, doing
Wow,
work.
all green
Camo.
for KM. Nick Dean finally breaking the streak. Orden
Matthew
putting
won
Nick
the
Dean
archer
down.
battle up top. He's able to have free reign here, free shots. KM looking to make this a tie.
It's just Ralix left. So we are going to see a 7-round first set.
Camo getting the final kill. And it's tied. Whatever KM was doing wrong, they're doing much better now.
KM is just... They might break their W key by the time this match is over. Because they are putting some pressure on it.
Well, KM was the one that came in there, right? They took that position.
Well, yeah,
It
they
was
came in to
SF.
take it. They eventually stopped because they had SF just kind of scattered in the open.
This seems the place where most of the action happens right here, the graveyard.
This is a bloody, bloody first set.
Oh, a Cav coming out, finally! SF Ralix trying to throw that.
I don't
into
think
the mix
SF
there.
needs to, I don't think SF needs to push out of their crossbow. They're sending their crossbow around. They don't need the fight out of his sight, though. Early kill by Nick
Sean
Dean.
getting devoured by SF there.
The
They're
crossbow's
pushing him
behind
out.
him now.
Madness in a wonderful position. A bit exposed, though. Isaac's going for him.
See if Ralix can make the difference here.
He
As
is.
the lone Cav.
He's stuck, though, but he got a good... Oh, his
Down goes the
is
horse.
down. As is he. Not a good performance. And a team kill by KM.
So we got a 3v4, I believe? 3v4?
3v4. This decides the set.
And getting behind Matthew there.
42. No, sir. Isaac, you're the last man alive. You got to show this mad infantry skills now. Getting poked from behind. Too focused on Neanderthal, dying.
I thought the team kill there for SF might have cost them this set, but they won the melee.
KM got a team kill as well, or that must... I'm pretty sure KM also got a team kill there at the end, so...
Yeah, they did. Ended up evening it out. So that's actually everything I hoped it would be for a first set, because I think what we have to wait at most 40 seconds for a melee. These guys are trying to set a record, I believe.
So, SF sitting at 1, KM at 0.
It's I don't believe it's scored by sets. I believe it's overall rounds at the end.
Oh, so they're still sitting at
Yeah.
nothing. Okay, so if King's Musketeers can manage to win this one out, the next set they will tie.
Looks like KM has 6 right now. They're trying to get someone else in, but the server's full. So I'm sure they'll resolve this soon.
So they are on break, right? This
Yeah,
is where
it
we
is
are.
break. They look kind of
Okay.
serious that last little practice round, but they, I believe they know they're on break.
Some of their seriousness tumbled over into the goofing off rounds.
I was actually kind of impressed. Cam, when the rounds they won, they were able to just kind of catch SF off guard and get a numerical advantage and win the melees. But it seemed like every time SF was established and could meet them with equal numbers, SF got the best of it.
I'm not sure if they should. Maybe they should throw more cabs in from now on. I know Ralix didn't make much of a difference there, but I liked what SF was trying to do there. They were trying to catch KM off guard for the final round there. Almost paid off, but then he ran into a wall.
The question posed by John. It says, "Why is the server full? Everybody should be watching the stream." I agree, John, completely. But also, I believe we got 2 West Knights in here, so we do need an admin to give a streamer and to keep everything sorted for the server. But everybody else is SF or KM, looks like.
People don't want to watch the stream. These guys who are in the clan, they want VIP section. They want to be right in the front row, watching the action unfold.
We got Ruins. That's, I believe, some admin difficulties here. There we go, Sandy Bush.
Yeah, they're still working stuff out, folks. Well, in the meantime, though, I think this is a good time to bring up the music you're hearing on this stream is brought to you by Kevin McLeod. He is a man who puts his music on for free. His website is incompetech.com, and all he wants is people to attribute his music, so therefore I am doing that. Share and share alike. Free music, all he wants is for it to be heard and for him to get credit. So we use it on the stream and we thank him very much while we wait for the teams to switch sides.
And we actually had someone spawn in and then immediately go back spec, so the score, make sure the score is set correctly. It might have tallied a win for Rodox.
Yeah, 3-4. Well, we'll fix it up when we come back, but
I believe we got a live match here. Nope, we don't. Captain did not spawn in.
Well, when we get live. But as I called it, KM, they're pulling ahead here. Is this their first match of the tournament, right? This is like...
Yeah, this is both these teams' first match of the tournament.
We get to learn a little about both of these guys and see how they start off here in the season. Are they going live or?
Yep, SF actually kind of taking a page out of KM's book here, immediately going for the short alley. KM settling for the opposite. They are in the long alley.
All right, so we will be going back into the game, folk, for the continuation of the match. Oh, that was already muted. KM controlling a different area here, one we've not seen much of. Maybe they'll stay here, maybe they'll move out. Seems to me they don't have to be the ones to be aggressive here because SF have to make up ground.
Well, no, KM SF ended up getting the victory there on that last round or last set.
Oh, point wise, this is what we're saying. Yes.
Yeah, it should read 4-3 in favor of SF for the aggregate.
Oh wait, who won the last one?
You need to switch it. You got it. You got the names right. Just switch the score. There you go.
Okay, so KM are the ones with the deficit.
Yes, that is correct.
All right.
KM has actually moved kind of back in towards their spawn.
Both
and
teams
we have
waiting for Master of the Field.
We have a Master Pop, and it is in the long alley.
Rally still on a horseman, the only man mounted.
KM definitely has the initial position advantage. They're on the flag now.
KM have wonderful positioning. Sean throwing jabs down at the enemy. Neanderthal coming in. Oh, brazen!
SF has two behind KM lines here. They snuck two around to get the crossbow. Let's see if it pays off. Taking a hammer,
Captain coming from behind, but no. John sees it, goes off to fight it. Meanwhile, at flag. Looks kind of even with the split SF has done on KM here, actually. And Madness, uncontested. Oh my goodness, looks like KM are losing this. No!
That costly team kill there by Kush. He did get the kill earlier. Oh wow, that might swing it.
Madness spamming arrows with the Fury.
It's,
Getting another one.
It's down to 2v1. Down to 2v1. Orden staying on the flag, kind of putting the pressure on Kush to make something happen here. We'll see
They're
if they just
pushing
sit.
the flag,
sit
though.
on it.
Madness is going to have to contest it, or they will win off
And
flag.
that is very unfortunate, because he's going to have to get into melee with 2 infantry.
Well, Bench is injured. I don't know if he sees that. Yes, he does not know, but...
You cannot see health bars. I imagine the blood might be an indicator, though.
Yes, the blood's streaming down from his legs and face.
Orden, it's going to be really hard to bully Orden off this flag. I don't see this ending well for Kush.
KM playing it very smart here. No! Losing
He takes a
man.
hit for that kill.
The injured man was hit.
8 seconds. Kush is hurt bad. Orden at full health. Fighting don't take a shot at the face.
But
He's
I
got
think
this.
he'll win, right? Or will it
That's
contest?
game.
No.
KM wins it.
KM won because time ran out and their flag was much, much higher. No sudden death if the flags are not in contestable distances from each other.
I actually like SF's play there, even though it didn't work out. They were very patient. They came in behind and they kind of
SF did
they kind of got
beautiful
behind him there. It just didn't pay out. I think the team kill might have been that deciding factor, even though Kush definitely tried to atone for it. He did get a couple kills there late.
It was a tough choice for KM to send a guy off to get Madness or to keep fighting that big engagement at the front. That was smart to put him in that position to make that decision.
Lots of jabs. SF taking jabs early from KM.
Ralix getting off his horse, but he's cornered, dying due to kicks. Not much success as an infantryman, not much success as a horse, Ralix. That is unfortunate. Madness shooting, but KM, I think, are starting to move, no? No, they're wary of the attack from behind.
Captain is pressuring the crossbow.
Crossbow out of the picture. KM
Gondor in the back, just trying to ward off the Cav, keep him out of play. The Cav gets behind him. SF has numbers.
SF
Actually,
coming
it's
to
4-4,
save
never mind. Scratch
the
that.
other contingency here.
Taking out Orden, that's big. And then they get a team kill in their favor as well. This is
SF
looking
demolishing. Gondor turning the corner and seeing his teammate just got decimated. The shock on his face, he is done. Swarmed. Dead. This is very close.
This is.
This
I'm,
is intense.
This is everything I'd hoped it would be so
It's
far.
a good matchup for these guys. It's wonderful these guys got matched up together. SF switched their horsemen, actually. That's odd. Maybe Ralix wasn't just feeling that position. But, KM, I've not seen them switch up their class setup too much.
These guys just hate backing up. Both these teams do. They want to go forward or not move at all.
Why would KM back up if they're all infantry, man? Like, one single archer.
I think KM definitely wants to fight in this alley.
They're wary because they really have to put Matthew in a wonderful position where he's not getting charged, so they could make the most out of him because they have but one archer.
I mean, SF only has one ranged unit as well, but they do have the Cav, so.
SF coming down the bottom. I don't know why KM like to stay here though. This is a risky spot unless they know how to counter SF and their multi-push. No, SF coming up the stairs. My goodness, it's a daisy chain of dudes coming. Isaac running off.
So SF pushing in now.
Madness put himself in a wonderful
And it looks like
position.
Cam wants to fight it here. I don't think this is a good spot though. Kush is going to just get free reign.
Matthew
And
in a
SF winning the
position-
melees anyway.
Madness, Kush in a wonderful position. The envy
Cav
of
goes
Matthew
down,
right
though.
now.
I think now is when if they're gonna pick a time to engage now, they got to do it here.
KM had to do it here because Madness would not have had a good position for arching. But
It's over at this point.
Trying to cut their losses throughout the whole fight meant they lost everything. And these last two KM players trying to survive. They probably won't. I don't think they should stick to that corner anymore. It seems like SF know how to dismantle them at that corner.
Aside from the first 2 rounds, I don't think we've had someone win 2 rounds in a row so far.
It is constant back and forth, tit for tat. You take a round, I get one right back.
Looks like we might have an instant fight in short. Nope, SF going to stick with the courtyard and put the ladder up. That's a good idea too.
But high on up, KM already up there.
This is a good spot for KM, I think.
This is a good one. They've had much success here. Much better than that corner. But SF coming around.
They didn't shield their crossbow at all though. Let the infantry go right up and get him.
Matthew, the only man who can fire.
But he got out.
In too much heat. They're chasing him down now. KM split up everywhere. Everywhere. These
2 for SF, 1 for KM.
Chickens with their heads cut off right now. Matthew died right at the start. That bodes really poorly. Really poorly for KM here. Gondor up at the top, not even knowing what he's doing. Throwing the ladder down with his teammates.
He has no help up there. Numerical advantage for SF.
Gondor, can he handle a one-on-one? Let's see. It won't be a one-on-one for much longer. Neanderthal getting a poke in. Madness finishing it. Wow, Madness finishing it with the shot. Nice. I think it's very worth noting that both teams have 1 archer apiece. However, KM's archer, Matthew, is sitting at 0-4, while SF's archer, Kush, is 4-0.
Completely untouched.
And as we saw, if KM lose their archer right at the beginning,
SF is doing a great job initiating fights where Kush is not going to be pressured and can tee off on the other infantry.
Gondor this time jumping right in, losing half his health, but this time I'm part of the fight, he says. And these guys still going at it.
The cab making a huge difference there, giving him a 2-man advantage. It's just all green for SF at this point.
KM falling man by man. Bench me, please. Throwing himself in there, trying to get a kill, but no. All heart, no skill. And Strike Force take their 2nd consecutive round, folks.
What does that put us at? 8-4
in favor of Strike Force?
Believe the aggregate is 8-4 for Strike Force. Yes, it is. So Strike Force kind of stumbling out of the gate. They're barely taking the first set, but showing a little more patience and better positioning for their team in that last set. And we're getting right into the other position. Okay, I think we're getting right into the other map here. Let's see what they picked. Reverend Village is the pick by SF.
Oh, another wonderful map.
And KM immediately going for Vaegir.
Another infantry map. That's noteworthy.
And SF going for Swadia. So, I mean, we have our factions in our map already.
Oh, well, it's kind of mixed, actually, wouldn't you say, Reverend Village?
Cav can definitely be a factor there. I think mixed is its official category in this tournament as of now. The stream is actually not done. I believe it's live. We're just switching. Yeah. The stream is live.
Right now, teammates are switching maps and factions, and hopefully resetting. KM is resetting their minds here. Like, they lost 1 set. They got to tie this one. They got to win this one to tie.
They don't need the round to tie necessarily. They just have to. They got a total of 4 rounds in the first half. They just need to win these 2 sets by giving SF only 3 rounds or less.
Wait, a question. So at the end of it all, if KM win these 2 next, there's rounds, there's sets. The next 2 sets, right? That makes what?
Yeah.
2 sets makes what?
A set is basically a quarter. That's probably a better way of looking at it. Quarter.
Yes. Okay. So if they win both sets and they win the quarter or the half, it would be the half, right?
Yes. If they win, they need to win this half 8-3.
If they
KM
win
does.
both quarters and get the half, there we go. That's how it moves up. That's how you add them up. Then
Basically, they need to
go to
win this
round?
half. They need to win this half 8-3 in order to win the match outright. But if it's 8-4, it'll be a tie, which will be, I'm kind of rooting for. It'll be interesting because I want to see the tiebreaker scenario. But if it's 8-5 or less, if SF picks up 5 rounds in this next half, then the match is going to go for SF.
I like knowing that at the end of it all, the rounds help separate it. So there's still hope. Still hope for a good showing on the second map. For KM. And are we live?
I believe we are.
For the streamers to be asking now, but
you have Ruin's minimap up there. Make sure to change that.
oh yeah, minimap. Don't want the chat telling me to do that one again. Although I do appreciate it. They're vigilant.
This, I'm hoping, is live.
Yeah, I think they switched. They had a miss spawn, and this is Reverend Village. That's sides, and we are going live into the match, folk. Or technical difficulties, says Kush. Does that mean they're resetting?
I think that just means, I think he's thanking him for doing the previous reset.
Oh, nice, good sportsmanship coming out.
Yep.
And then WK not involved in the match, but talking crap from the benches there, the VIP area. Fierce words coming out. So we have KM. Let's see what they picked here.
So KM going with 2 range and a cav, 4 infantry. Same loadout for SF. We got identical loadouts. We see KM kind of holding the fence here.
They're really holding. This guy's straddling the fence here. Mr. Camo.
I'm curious as to KM's proficiency arranged here as Vagers. You definitely want to
You
have
should
good
not
range.
question KM's proficiency of range.
I'm not
That's their
questioning it.
whole
I'm just
gimmick.
interested. I'm not familiar with it, so I kind of would like to see. I want to see some headshots here.
Actually, I'd love to see if they can arch as well as they can shoot a gun. KM Ryder getting headshot though. They can take shots pretty well. My goodness.
And the early exchange going for SF.
Oh,
we
wait,
have a
no,
master.
one DC'd, and then SF got a headshot on a player. And then, I think SF just had a drop?
Yeah, they dropped to match. They're obviously going to drop one because the other one was an actual kill.
That is
So,
quite, very honorable. Very honorable. SF dropped a player to match KM and their technical
SF
difficulty.
on the flag. Orden going down, taking a crossbow and a Great Lance. So the cav is already down for KM. Matthew getting a shot on Neanderthal. That was a good shot. KM kind of surrounding him here. They need to stay alive and get the kills, but they got him kind of surrounded.
Matthew trying to get some shots in at a far distance. So yes, he's
Matthew
landing them.
is making a huge difference. All of those kills were
Either he got him or he contributed to him. But now it's up to him. Oh, he's running! Jumping the fence, trying to get some distance. Not making enough.
It's not completely
Oh, he's
unfeasible.
jumping back around! Genius! Oh,
It's
you
not
gotta keep the
unfeasible
sword
for him
out.
to pull it out here. That course would
not
be easy to bring down if he can get his bow out.
He is using that fence marvelously. Nick Dean getting
Nick
frustrated.
Dean doesn't want to. Yep, going for the hunter.
No, switching horses. Little money at the end, and Ralix winning the fight there. Matthew tried really hard, but they were at a disadvantage from the random headshot and the drop. Stands to reason that they lost that.
We'll see what's going on here. KM, Rider of Gondor's back. He should be able to spawn in here.
Shameful display.
See if SF realizes he's back and can match. Giraffe coming in.
Oh, and Giraffe stepped in from the side.
We have 7v7 again. So even numbers. KM kind of holding in the middle right here near their spawn.
Giraffe was the honorable bloke who dropped for SF.
Yes, he was. Deserving of applause.
Both teams seeming to want to fight near the buildings this time. They're doing a Archer Poke Fest here. I think Madness will win it though because a crossbow has an advantage around corners like that. KM deciding not to fight it. Going elsewhere. Going around.
Ralix kind of holding KM's movement here. I don't know if they know he's alone or not. Yep. Now they're pushing up, saying you're not going to stop us.
These guys are playing Ring Around the Rosie around this building, and oh, SF coming in for the attack. Tamo charging in for the counterattack, trying to get Madness up there, can't quite make it.
KM doesn't have numbers here.
They are not
Matthew trying to get to a shooting spot.
Origin trying to get behind him again to do his preferred tactic, but it's not working, and Giraffe first to fall.
Tamo's getting a couple really good lances in there. Madness takes out Isaac. So we got Matthew lone range left on KM, and Master spawns behind Church again. KM definitely in better position for this one though.
SF regrouping, getting off their horse or switching out who's on a horse at the back of the building, rearming themselves while KM rush to the flag and try to raise it here.
See, SF has two crossbows. They kind of need to put a spread here. KM a little too eager to kind of bunch up on the flag. Still got a lot of time left.
KM Gondor coming out there, realizing they got to hold him off if they're going to win the flag war. No!
Nick Dean goes down for the kill.
Too far out. Colony trying to throw a kick in, getting, oh, demolished. Oh, he got the kick in. Go Colony. If they're going to lose, they're going to lose with flair. They have a minute left. They will not win the flag unless, no. Fight can swing either way here. They still have Tamo on a horse. Distracting, knocking down Madness.
Oh, the cab going, that's huge.
No,
the cab
PM,
needed to remain a presence there.
KM almost
It's 4v2
there. No. Nick Dean, I think he got back on a horse, or was he always on a horse? Horse is getting
he lost his horse. He
recycled
picked
here.
up the other one. He just picked that one up.
Horse is getting heavily recycled here. They can still run. They're still good. Oh!
I don't know
Beautiful
if...
jump!
Bench me, please. I'm not sure he needs to be benched at this point.
No, he is doing a wonderful job. But sadly, he has to kill these guys and get to the flag. Madness setting up the kill. No, not necessary. And Strike Force win 2 in a row.
I think the key there, I think the individual skill was just about even. I think the key there was just KM was a little too rushed the flag scenario a little too much. They had a little bit more time. They should have gotten better position and not just kind of group up on the flag.
The time they had to control that area to fully control the area to lock it down. I mean, Gondor just kind of ran up there without any backup. I liked what he was trying to do, stop SF from rushing us. But he had no backup, and he died, and then they had a deficit, and then things fell from there. It seemed like a really tight... They were evenly matched, though, after the initial scuffle. That was exciting.
So if KM is going to mount a comeback and finish it in 2 maps, they're going to need to start winning right now.
They have to win every single one for even if a tie, so that they can emerge as a by winning 2 rounds.
They can give one more round at this point. That's all they can give. They want to win outright. So they need to make something happen.
In a position of power, and they're bringing it to here. They're bringing it to KM. Stab it, Isaac. Done. Dead on top of the cabbages.
Cross was taking shots there. Oh, and Matthew taking a jab. The throwing skirmish is ending poorly for KM, and then the crossbow takes out Matthew.
Oh my God, KM is falling apart.
Killed by Tamo. Orden trying to chop down that brigandine where Alex is wearing.
Orden, oh, getting stabbed, tossed around, dead. Bench me, please. Trying to stop an army by himself. Look at that skill. He can use a pike, he can use a sword, but he can't do much against 3 people. Oh, stabs! Weaving, dodging, juking, jiving. Go, bench me, please. Bench me, please. Please work on your swordsmanship there. Do something. And Colony getting poked to death.
SF, when they came around the that corner right there, they knew they had the numbers and the position, and that was the time to press, and they pressed it perfectly. All cav by SF.
Wow, this is all cav? Jesus Christ.
This is a live round 2. And getting
the battle charge, hurrah!
The initial charge ending poorly, but they pick up 2, so it's 2 for 2.
Don't matter, they can just keep charging. Oh my God, they're tag teaming everyone. The surprise cavalry round, no one expects this. They weren't prepared either. No sir. Oh, random horses stopping Gondor. There's just so many of them on the field that there's still a danger.
This is utter chaos.
Utter chaos. Goodness me. KM getting demolished by the all-horse charge. Their buttholes weren't ready for this. No, sir. Gondor, the last to die. Wow.
Definitely took a different turn there.
Unorthodox!
Some might call that a cheese round win right there, but I liked it. I liked 8 horses in that small little space there. It made it very interesting.
KM just got Zerg rushed there, folk. In Warband.
So at this point, it's all or nothing for KM. In order to force a tie, they have to win all the rounds at this point. Actually, no, I'm wrong.
No, I think they already lost, bro.
It's already.
Such a shame. Such a shame.
My math's a little off here.
Yeah,
it's alright. Everybody's adjusting to the new rule set, so.
Second stream, folk. Well, it's still going on. We still see this to the end, though, right? Like.
Yeah, we're gonna see it to the end.
Okay.
We still got minimum 4 rounds to go.
All right, so a bit more action, but we're gonna bring you a lot of these matches, folk, in the coming weeks. Different voices, different streams, but still the same fun, same coverage of the same people. So. Or actually, my bad, we're gonna cover many teams.
So SF, 7 spawn in for SF, only 6 for KM.
Have they, is this live? If only these kind gentlemen would type that in the chat. Okay, there we go. Yeah, streamer status.
It looks live.
And what is the aggregate score? 5 for musket, 11 for strike. Is that right?
I believe so.
Okay, and so we're gonna go back in here, see the resolution of this match, folk.
There should be actually 12-5 because all sets went to.
There
Yeah, all
went,
the sets.
12-5.
Yep, 12-5 should be it.
And SF are getting demolished here, it seems. Or
They still
not.
have a numerical advantage here. Yep, it's 3v1. Sheriff Tamo asking for duels. Would prefer to fight his 3v1 one at a time.
That's honorable. Give it to him. Give it to him. Having a little fun here. Yes to duels. Tamo has agreed to a duel. Well, he is dueling Neanderthal here. This is a different type of duel. A cav fight. These are exciting. Oh, and Tamo's agreeing to some honor. Yes. Folk, we're gonna have a little fun here now that SF are victors. Oh! Oh, not quite.
That's dirty.
They lured
That's
Tamo
really dirty.
into a false sense of security and then arsed him. Good duel indeed. Good duel, SF.
I was questioning that decision to duel anyway because rounds have implications and rounds could be your deciding factor come playoff time.
You don't want to throw those away now. You got to think of the bigger picture, folks. SF looking to just finish this out. It seems like KM have lost their spirit. Oh my god. Giraffe tearing down at Matthew from behind. Clobber him behind the head. Actually, SF really, not fearing anything, just two-manning it. Giraffe going straight for Matthew. He wants his head. Oh my god, the cab dying in the distance. Giraffe going for his one-on-one. Oh, and he lost. A lot of effort. Secured nothing.
So it's 4-3 now. So
well, what did KM do wrong here? Let's, while this goes on, a bit of analysis might help out here. Bit of theory crafting of what it was they didn't do.
I think overall I think KM were not as patient and pushed some poor positions that they should have maybe passed on. Definitely in the first map. And then I think on this map, because it was kind of opened up, wasn't so closed, I think SF has a class balance advantage over KM, and it showed here. Because I think it was the range in the cav that definitely was the deciding factor on this map.
I'd even like to attribute KM's loss to a lack of gumption by their players. Like, it seemed like they lost their nerves really quickly when SF came at them. Like, they worry too much about saving themselves and not enough about counterattacking. Because if you're always reacting to what your opponent's doing, you're pretty much always gonna lose. So I did not see that from KM here.
Yeah.
Especially telltale in the matches on Sandy Bush where they got pincered and either didn't know how to react to it or didn't react fast enough.
I think in this match, you could see KM kind of still kind of learning the how to play competitively a little bit. I think you could see them hesitate when they had good positioning and go in on bad positioning. I think
are they new, right? Like they're
they're
newer
they're
than some of these other clans.
relative to the rest of the teams, they are definitely new.
Newbies to the scene,
It
still
also
trying
didn't
to
help.
improve.
The last couple of rounds, I think they've been down a player too. So
Yeah, technical troubles cropped its head at the end. Oh, Gondor, Jesus Christ, dude, just throwing himself. Life ain't worth living for him. But
their bright spots were definitely on the first set when they were doing the math and they knew they had SF at a numbers disadvantage and they pressed it and they capitalized.
this second map completely pulled the wind from their sails. Which who won the duel at the beginning? That was Orden, right?
I believe Orden won the duel. Yes, he did 2-1.
So SF picked this map, and maybe KM wasn't very much practiced on it. They weren't prepared for the strategies on this one.
I think skill-wise, just judging by the productivity of the different classes for each team, I think SF was confident they had they had more depth at Archer and Cav, and more skill at that position. So I think this was a great map choice for them, and it kind of showed in a more dominant performance than Sandy Boosh.
KM failed to prove to me that you can transition your mad Napoleonic skills back to Warband.
I don't think anybody really thought they were gonna just come in and just like and dominate and look like a completely well practiced native clan. I think people knew that there was going to be a little bit of a rough transition. And actually,
that was my worry for him.
I think they kind of surprised me a little bit though.
They did a respectable showing, I think.
I think they did too. I think they had enough positive things go for them that they definitely shouldn't feel discouraged by any means. There were times when they were rolling, and if you can see your clan rolling, I think that should be enough of an indication that you have the ability to really succeed in the competitive scene. There are definitely showings where there's not a huge, if there is a gap in individual talent, it's not massive and it's not overcomable.
I see a glimmer of hope in the guys, and if worse comes to worse and they find a problem, maybe the problem is with the group of dudes they got. I mean, they got like a huge pool of talent to pull from, right? So we'll see them bounce back, but not to discredit SF, they did really well. They did really well.
From what I've seen here, there are definitely clans in the pool for UNAC that KM is capable of beating.
And now for the final round, KM not putting up much of a struggle. They're just taking it. Just taking it. Isaac. Oh, culminating in the death of Isaac. And there we have it, folk. KM versus Strike Force. And we have...
Everybody in the lobby, we're going to... we might try to answer a couple questions if we see one that we think's worthy of some airtime, but... I think we might, I don't know, I'm kind of curious. I kind of want to talk to Kush. But I don't think we're going to get him info. We might hold off on that.
Yes, in the future we will be able to talk to the teams, get some insight, get some personality from the captains and star players. But
I like this. First question presented by Juvie. You get pick an MVP. Do you have an MVP of the game?
Huh. An MVP. That's good. It's the perfect time to incorporate Twitch chat here. And MVP. Let me think here. I know in the first Who did I say had 8-3? Someone was really, but then he didn't do good after that, so I don't know. Rallies didn't impress me. Odorin. You know what? I'm gonna go with
Orden. Well, I mean, Orden was on. It depends. I think an argument could be made that he was one of the most important players, but
he
it
was
depends.
instrumental early on with his backwards attacking from behind strategy, usually on his own. So that's big brass balls there too. But I think ultimately that ended up he didn't keep at it, or something happened with him that he stopped shining. So tough to say. For SF though, I want to say Matthew. Or was it? Or ordering? Who was the archer for SF that was 4-0?
Most of the time it was Kush. I think when they were crossed by faction.
Oh, yes, then Kush. I'm sorry. Matthew was the archer who had bad rounds for KM. Kush would be my MVP.
I think because of the overall productivity of SF, I think my MVP would be Kush as well. I think Nick Dean was definitely a presence on Reverend and as Kev, but I think there was a lot of very good infantry that showed up for SF. So I guess because of the overall productivity of the clan, Kush being the caller, I think I'm going to default to Kush for MVP.
So Kush, you get unanimous MVP of this match from the
I believe
streamers here.
that's a 2-0 vote there.
2-0 vote, folk.
Let's see if we got any other questions. I'm getting some Steam messages here.
Good, just a little bit of downtime afterwards. Just a reminder, folk, that... Oh, wait, wrong screen. There is many more weeks to come for this tournament with many different voices, colorful ones, all who care about Warband a lot and competitive Warband, and making it seem exciting. So...
let's take one more question. If one presents itself. Getting some Steam messages here. We kind of already touched on this one, but the questions are, what contributed to KM's issues? Was it infantry lack of coordination?
I know. You go ahead. I'm sorry.
You go ahead.
Oh, thank you. I know exactly what their issue was. Too much time in Napoleonic Wars, man. Too many times in them trenches, you know, like.
I think you kind of have to give that one the biggest. You gotta lot that one as the biggest problem that they have. I think Native's just completely different from Napoleon, with Fire and Sword or Napoleonic Wars.
They had gunpowder on their mind, not steel. Okay. So.
It's definitely different, and it's never going to be easy transitioning to that. But I think overall, I think KM's calling wasn't as confident and wasn't as consistent as SF.
Yes, I would agree with that.
And I would also say that, and that might be a product of this next question. I think SF looked to be more balanced in classes.
And then they completely lopsided that with the all-cab rush. Yeah. Yes, they did have a bit more variety than all infantry, one archer. The KM didn't switch that up. They are a new fledgling clan, at least in this scene, and you could tell, and that was a factor. And yeah, all that stuff adds up to a demise, a loss.
I'm actually getting input from Orden right now. Clint says, our issue is we have a lot of inexperienced native players who just can't keep up with native competitive scene, and that's pretty much it at the moment. But that's kind of a glim outlook, or a very gloomy outlook, but I believe, I don't know, I saw some good things though. It wasn't
they seemed able to play. They just seemed they needed to get work more cohesively. Like
basically, I think their problems are nothing that some practice couldn't fix.
Problems are not insurmountable for KM. And this is an important question on the side. Coffee or tea? I have green tea right here. Coffee sucks. Tea's awesome.
Oh, no.
That's an important question that we had to address.
Coffee all the way. Coffee negates.
Tastes good, but
coffee negates the need for several hours of sleep.
Well, so thank you guys for the questions. Thank the teams for the performance, and I thank you, Black, for co-hosting today.
No problem. You were brilliant yourself.
And we're gonna put on more brilliant shows for you people. So tune in next time. Check the Tailwolves forums, and keep up to date on UNAC. So long.
Yep.